Have you ever felt like the world is just too loud, too fast, too chaotic, too much? From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded. Notifications, headlines, obligations. The pace never slows and the noise never stops. And somewhere in that storm, many of us quietly ask the same question. How do I find peace in all of this? If that question resonates with you, you're not alone. In fact, you're part of a growing number of people searching not just for silence, but for stillness. Not just for a pause, but for perspective. That's where Stoicism comes in. Now, you might think of Stoicism as just another old philosophy, something carved into marble and forgotten by time. But let me tell you, it's more alive, more powerful, and more relevant today than ever before. Because Stoicism isn't about retreating from the world. It's about facing the world with clarity, with courage, and most of all, with calm. The Stoics believe that peace isn't something the world gives you. Peace is something you train for, something you build internally, regardless of how loud or unpredictable life becomes around you. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor facing war, plague, and betrayal, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't say this from a meditation retreat. He said it from the front lines of history. So if a man surrounded by chaos could find inner order, why can't we? Why? This video isn't just another mindfulness checklist or trendy self-help advice. What we're diving into today are 5 Stoic practices, daily habits that have stood the test of centuries. Practices used by warriors, philosophers, emperors, and ordinary men and women to anchor themselves in turbulent times. And the best part? You don't need to move to a mountain or delete all your apps to begin. You just need a little discipline, a little courage, and a willingness to slow down and listen. Not to the world, but to yourself. Ask yourself, what if peace isn't found by escaping chaos, but by mastering it? What if the quiet you're seeking is already within you, buried beneath layers of reaction, noise, and distraction? And what if you could wake up tomorrow not controlled by the world, but calmly in command of your response to it? This is what the Stoics trained for, and it's what we'll explore together right now. So take a deep breath. Let go of what you can't control and prepare to rediscover something you may have forgotten: the stillness at the center of your storm. Let's begin. Let me ask you something. How often do you feel like life is just too much? Like you're standing in the middle of a storm? Career pressure, relationship challenges, financial stress, constant uncertainty, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to find solid ground. We all go through seasons like that. Life throws waves at us, and we either get swept away, or we learn how to stand tall in the middle of the chaos. And that's where Stoicism becomes more than just a philosophy. It becomes a way of surviving, even thriving, when everything around you is falling apart. You see, the Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, they didn't preach positivity or fake optimism. They didn't tell you to smile through the pain or manifest your way out of hardship. They gave us something far more powerful: perspective. Let's break it down. 1. Focus on what you can control. This is the foundation of Stoicism. We waste so much energy trying to control the uncontrollable. Other people's opinions, the economy, politics, the weather, outcomes of our efforts. And every time we try to bend reality to our will, we set ourselves up for frustration and burnout. But the Stoics taught us, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. Those are yours. What others think. What happens tomorrow. Whether people treat you fairly, that's not yours to carry. Think about how much lighter your day would feel if you dropped the burden of trying to fix things you were never meant to control. Next time something triggers you, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, breathe, let it go. And if the answer is yes, act with purpose and integrity. That's power. That's freedom. That's Stoicism. 2. Embrace the present moment. One of the silent killers of peace is our inability to be where we are. We're either stuck replaying what happened yesterday or bracing for what might go wrong tomorrow. Meanwhile, the only moment we can actually live in, the present, slips right through our fingers. The Stoics remind us that the present moment is not only all we truly have, it's enough. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." That doesn't mean ignore the future or forget the past. It means don't live there. Let me ask you, when was the last time you were truly present? Not scrolling, not multitasking, not overthinking, just here, breathing. Alive, awake to your life. Start small. Watch the sunlight filter through your window. Feel your breath enter and leave your body. Savor your next cup of coffee. That's not just mindfulness, it's Stoic discipline. And when you're present, really present, something powerful happens. Worry shrinks, peace grows, and life becomes clear. 3. Cultivate virtue, not status. In today's world, we're constantly told that success is about how much you earn, how you look, or how many followers you have. But the Stoics flipped that completely. To them, the highest achievement wasn't fame or fortune. It was virtue. Virtue isn't some outdated moral code. It's practical, it's real, and it's the foundation for inner strength. The 4 cardinal Stoic virtues are wisdom, knowing what's right and making sound decisions. Courage, doing what's right even when it's hard. Justice, treating others fairly with integrity. Temperance, practicing balance, self-control, and moderation. These are the things you can build, no matter your job title or income. These are the things that can't be taken away, not by failure, not by betrayal, not even by death. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." But when we live by virtue, we become less shaken by fear, because we know we're grounded in who we are, not what happens. Final thoughts. Life will never stop throwing storms your way. That's a given. But whether those storms break you or reveal your strength, that's your choice. So today, you have a decision to make. Will you keep chasing control over what's out of your hands? Will you keep missing life by living in the past or future? Will you define yourself by what you have or by who you are? Or will you choose the Stoic path? Focus on what you can control. Be fully here, in this moment, and build your life around unshakable character, not fleeting success. Because in the end, storms don't last forever. But the virtues you cultivate, the peace you earn through discipline, the calm you train through clarity, that's what endures. And that's what makes you not just a survivor, but a master of your own fate. If this message resonated with you, don't just watch, act. Start applying these principles today and see how your inner world transforms. And if you want to keep walking the Stoic path with us, subscribe for more wisdom, weekly reflections, and practices to help you thrive in a world full of noise. Because you were never meant to be ruled by chaos. You were born to rise above it, with calm, clarity, and purpose. Part 1. Start your day like a Stoic. Morning reflection for inner peace. Focus. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Be honest. Is it reaching for your phone? Checking emails? Scrolling social media? If it is, you're not alone. That's how millions of people start their day. Plugged in, reactive, already behind. But let me offer you something radically different. Something powerful. Stillness. Just a few quiet minutes to check in. Not with the world, but with yourself. This is the first Stoic practice that can shift everything. Morning reflection. The ancient Stoics didn't just stumble into wisdom by accident. They trained for it, daily. And one of their most consistent rituals was this: beginning the day with intention. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his personal journal what we now know as meditations, every single morning. He didn't do it for likes. He didn't do it to look smart. He did it because he knew the battle for peace is won or lost before the day even begins. So how do we practice Stoic reflection in the morning? Let's break it down. Step 1. Create space before the noise hits. Before the world demands your attention, give it to yourself. Wake up just 10 to 15 minutes earlier. Don't rush. Don't grab your phone. Sit in silence. Let the stillness settle in. Let your mind come online slowly, like the sun rising over a quiet landscape. You don't need incense or a mountaintop. You just need presence. Because this small space, this gap between waking and reacting, is where clarity can enter. Step 2. Ask yourself what matters today. Now, take a moment to ask, what truly matters today? What kind of person do I want to be, no matter what happens? What's within my control and what isn't? The Stoics remind us, you are responsible for your mind, your actions, your choices. That's your domain. That's your power. Let's say you have a big meeting today. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you show up. Calm, prepared, steady. Or maybe today is full of unknowns, things you can't predict. That's fine. A Stoic doesn't need perfect conditions. A Stoic only needs to stay grounded in principle. So ask yourself, what virtues will I carry into today? Will I lead with patience, courage, self-restraint? This is how you set your internal compass before the winds of life start blowing. Step 3. Visualize the challenges ahead. This might surprise you, but the Stoics actually anticipated adversity. They practiced something called premeditatio malorum, literally, the premeditation of evils. But it wasn't about being negative. It was about being prepared. So take a moment to think about what might test you today. The co-worker who interrupts you, the traffic jam that delays you, and the difficult conversation you've been avoiding, the unexpected news you can't control. Now, see yourself responding with calm, with reason, with poise. Instead of being shocked by challenge, expect it and train for it. That way, when the moment comes, you're not caught off guard. You're centered, grounded, ready. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Why morning reflection matters. Let's be real, life doesn't get easier, but you can get stronger. You don't need to control the chaos. You need to anchor yourself before the chaos begins. That's what morning reflection gives you, a steady mind in an unsteady world. This practice isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared. It's not about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. And over time, these quiet moments in the morning become your armor. They protect your peace. They sharpen your focus. They remind you, you are not a prisoner of reaction. You are a master of response. I'll be honest, when I first started morning reflection, I didn't expect much. I was skeptical, busy, restless. But something shifted. By spending just a few minutes every morning in silence, journaling, breathing, visualizing, I began to carry a different energy into my day. I stopped chasing calm. I started creating it. And I realized the most powerful part of my day wasn't some major achievement or big decision. It was those first 5 minutes alone with my thoughts. That's where strength is built. Your turn. Try it tomorrow. So here's the challenge. Tomorrow morning, before anything else, pause. Don't check your phone. Don't jump into the rush. Instead, sit in silence. Ask yourself what matters. Imagine what might challenge you and how you'll respond like a stoic. You don't need more time. You need more intention, because peace isn't found in the absence of noise. Peace is found in how you meet the noise, with discipline, with reflection, and with presence. Part 2. The Stoic Power of Journaling. How to process emotions and cultivate clarity. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly sat down with your thoughts? Not distracted, not scrolling, not venting to someone else, just you. Alone, pen in hand, facing what's actually going on inside your mind. If that feels rare, you're not alone. In a world that encourages us to constantly consume, react, and rush, taking the time to reflect, to process, to understand, has become a lost art. But the Stoics knew better. They knew that a powerful life isn't just shaped by what happens to us, but by how well we understand what's happening within us. And that's where this next Stoic practice comes in: journaling. This isn't the kind of journaling you did as a kid. It's not about documenting your day or writing a perfect diary entry. It's about making space, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, for clarity. Because here's a truth most people overlook. Your mind is not a storage unit. It's not designed to carry everything unprocessed. When we don't unpack our thoughts, they pile up. Resentments fester. Regrets linger. Fears echo louder than they should. Journaling is how you clean that space. It's how you get honest with yourself. It's how you let go of what's weighing you down and make room for peace. Step 1. Release the mental clutter. Start simple. Open a notebook. No pressure, no perfect sentences. Just write what's on your mind, what emotions are rising, what feels heavy right now. Let it pour out without judgment. Think of your journal as a mirror, not to criticize yourself, but to see yourself. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "Each evening we should call ourselves to account." He used journaling to examine his day, what he did well, what he struggled with, and how he could improve tomorrow. Not to punish himself, to grow, to evolve, to stay aligned with his values. You can do the same, morning or night. Just start. Step 2. Identify triggers and reactions. Here's where journaling becomes a tool, not just for expression, but for transformation. Once you've written freely, zoom in. Look closer. What triggered you today? What situations made you react with frustration, fear, insecurity, or anger? And why? This is the Stoic art of self-inquiry. You're not writing to complain. You're writing to understand, because the more aware you are of your emotional patterns, the less power they have over you. You stop being a slave to reaction and start becoming a master of your response. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them." Journaling helps you discover those judgments and choose better ones next time. Step 3. Practice gratitude, the Stoic way. Now, before you close the page, do one last thing. List 3 things you're grateful for. Just 3. But here's the catch. Don't reach for the obvious. Look deeper. Be grateful for the challenge that taught you patience, for the delay that helped you pause, for the mistake that made you wiser. The Stoics weren't into toxic positivity. They didn't pretend life was always good, but they believed in choosing where to place your attention. Gratitude isn't ignoring pain, it's balancing it. It's reminding your mind that not everything is broken, that even in hard times, there is still light. Over time, this simple shift rewires your perception. You start seeing opportunity where you once saw burden, and that, right there, is how you begin to reclaim your peace. Why this practice changes lives? Let me be clear. Journaling won't fix everything overnight, but it gives you something rare in today's world: perspective. It gives you distance from your thoughts, so you can observe them, challenge them, reshape them. It gives you clarity, so you're not just reacting to life, but reflecting on it. And it gives you a safe, sacred space where honesty meets growth. Because the more you understand yourself, the more grounded you become. And the more grounded you are, the less the world can shake you. Personal story, the moment it clicked. I'll be honest. When I first started journaling, it felt awkward. I didn't know what to write. It felt forced. But I stuck with it. And one night, after a particularly stressful day, I wrote something that surprised me. Not because it was profound, but because it was true. And I had never seen it that clearly before. Since then, my journal has become more than a habit. It's become a compass. Not every page is deep. Not every session is easy. But every time I return to it, I feel more aligned, more aware, more me. And that's what I want for you. Your turn. Build the habit. Start today. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Grab a notebook or open a blank doc. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I learning? What am I grateful for? Don't filter. Don't edit. Just write. And if you keep showing up, something beautiful happens. The fog in your mind begins to lift. Your emotions become allies, not enemies. And you begin to shape your inner world with intention, not impulse. Part 3. The Stoic Art of Mindfulness. How to find clarity in the present moment. Let me ask you something that might hit close to home. When was the last time you were fully here? Not rushing to the next task. Not replaying yesterday's regrets. Not rehearsing tomorrow's problems. Just here. Breathing. Noticing. Being. If your answer is, I can't remember, don't worry. You're not alone. Most of us are so busy chasing time that we forget how to experience it. But here's the truth the Stoics knew centuries ago. Peace isn't somewhere out there. It's right here, in the present moment. And the gateway to that peace is mindfulness. Today, we explore Practice 3, Mindfulness Meditation, a practice that's as ancient as it is transformative. A practice that allows you to quiet the noise, slow the chaos, and return to the only place life actually happens. Now, let's break it down. 1. What is mindfulness meditation? Really? Mindfulness meditation isn't about emptying your mind or sitting like a monk on a mountaintop. It's much simpler and much more powerful. Mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the present moment, without judgment. Without trying to fix it, control it, escape it. It's noticing your breath, feeling your feet on the ground, observing your thoughts, like clouds passing through a vast sky. And most importantly, it's remembering that you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. 2. What the Stoics believed about awareness. You might be surprised to hear this, but mindfulness is deeply aligned with Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's the essence of mindfulness. The Stoics practiced self-observation not to escape life, but to live it with clarity and intention. They trained their minds to respond, not react. To see, without being swept away. To return again and again to the present, not because it's easy, but because it's true. 3. How to begin your mindfulness practice. You don't need incense, special music, or a retreat in the mountains. All you need is a few quiet minutes. Here's how to begin. Sit down, somewhere comfortable. Spine upright, but not rigid. Close your eyes, gently, and take a breath. Feel the air enter and leave. Notice what you feel. Your body, your emotions, the sounds around you. Now just observe. Let your thoughts come and go. Don't chase them. Don't judge them. Just return again and again to your breath. That's it. If your mind wanders, that's okay. That's what minds do. The practice isn't about never getting distracted. It's about noticing when you do, and gently returning to the present. Every return is a victory. Every breath is a beginning. 4. What happens when you commit to this practice? You might not notice anything dramatic right away, but something is happening beneath the surface. Your stress begins to soften. Your reactions slow down. And your awareness sharpens, and a deeper calm begins to rise, not from avoiding life, but from embracing it. Science backs it up too. Studies show that regular mindfulness meditation reduces stress and anxiety, increases focus and productivity, boosts emotional regulation, enhances your sense of well-being. But more than that, it changes how you experience life. You stop running from the moment. You start living it. 5. The inner shift, from chaos to clarity. The world won't stop spinning. The noise won't disappear overnight. But mindfulness gives you a still point, a sanctuary inside yourself. Imagine this. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Before, you'd explode. Now you breathe. You observe the impulse, but you don't become it. You get a stressful email. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause. You recognize the emotion, but you choose your next move with intention. That's the shift. That's where power lives. Not in controlling the world, but in controlling yourself through presence. I'll be honest, when I first tried mindfulness, I thought I was bad at it. My mind was all over the place. I couldn't focus. I kept thinking, this isn't working. But over time, I realized that was the work. The noticing, the returning, the learning to sit with myself, even when it was uncomfortable. And little by little, something incredible happened. I stopped living on autopilot. I started showing up, fully. Mindfulness didn't make life easier, but it made me more capable. And that changed everything. Your turn. Start with just 5 minutes. Don't overthink it. Set a timer. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. And breathe. That's where the journey begins. 5 minutes today. Maybe 6 tomorrow. And one day, without realizing it, you'll catch yourself responding calmly to something that used to wreck your entire mood. That's mindfulness at work. That's Stoic stillness in action. Part 4. The power of negative visualization. How Stoics prepare for anything life throws at them. Here's a question you probably don't hear often. What's the worst that could happen? No, seriously. What is the worst case scenario in your life right now? A job loss? A betrayal? A difficult diagnosis? Losing someone you love? You might be thinking, why would I ever want to imagine that? Why would anyone intentionally think about something painful? But here's what the Stoics discovered over 2,000 years ago. When you dare to face the things you fear before they happen, you rob them of their power. This is the practice of negative visualization. And it might just be the most misunderstood but most liberating habit in Stoic philosophy. Let's talk about why. 1. What is negative visualization? Really? Negative visualization, also known as premeditatio malorum, literally means the premeditation of evils. But don't let that phrase scare you. This isn't about pessimism or dwelling on darkness. It's about preparation. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they didn't believe in blind optimism. They believed in seeing the world clearly and preparing their minds accordingly. Seneca once said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." Think of it like mental training. Just as a soldier drills for battle or an athlete visualizes the toughest part of the game, a Stoic rehearses life's hardships so they're not shaken when storms inevitably come. 2. Why this works. From anxiety to strength. Here's what most of us do. We avoid thinking about loss. We try to block out uncertainty. We pretend pain won't touch us until it does. And when it hits, we're unprepared, overwhelmed, broken. But when you've already imagined the fall, you're more likely to land on your feet. Negative visualization reduces anxiety because it flips your mindset from victim to strategist. You stop asking, "What if this happens to me?" And you start asking, "If it happens, how will I respond?" And that's the Stoic power. Not avoidance, but readiness. 3. How to practice negative visualization without becoming negative. So how do we actually do this without falling into doom and gloom thinking? It's all about intention and control. Here's how to begin. Step 1. Choose a challenge. Pick something real, something you're quietly afraid of. It could be a failed project, a tough conversation, a financial setback, a health scare, even the death of someone close. Step 2. Imagine it fully. Yes, really. Close your eyes, play it out in your mind, feel the emotions. The discomfort, the fear. Don't rush past it. Don't resist it. Step 3. Plan your response. Now ask yourself, how will I stay calm in this moment? What virtues can I lean on? Courage, patience, acceptance. And what will I do to move forward? Not in panic, but in wisdom. The goal isn't to dwell, it's to rehearse. Like a firefighter practicing drills, like a Stoic strengthening the soul. 4. The unexpected gift, perspective. Here's where this practice becomes even more powerful. After you visualize the loss, you return to your life, your normal day, your warm coffee, your family, your body, your breath. And suddenly, you see it all with new eyes. You appreciate what you have. You cherish the moment. You stop taking the simple things for granted. That's the hidden beauty of negative visualization. It not only builds resilience for the future, it amplifies gratitude in the present. You realize, I feared losing this, but right now, I have it. And that awareness, that's peace. 5. Real life. Example. The Stoic in you. Let me share something personal. There was a season in my life where I feared losing everything I'd built. Career, reputation, stability. The thought of it used to keep me up at night. Then I read Epictetus. He said, "You are not your job, your house, your status. You are your choices." So I started practicing. Every morning, I imagined what it would feel like to lose it all and still get up, to still write, still breathe, still serve. And slowly, the fear shrank, because I realized I don't need to control outcomes. I only need to control who I become through them. That's Stoicism in action. Your turn. Try this. Tonight, before you go to bed, take 5 minutes. Sit in silence. Reflect. What are you avoiding facing? What challenge do you fear most? What would it look like to meet it with calm and dignity? Then open your eyes. Look around. Feel your breath. You made it through the scenario in your mind, and now you're back. Wiser, stronger, more present. That's the practice, and the more you do it, the less this world can shake you. Part 5. The Stoic Power of Gratitude. How to find joy in the simple things. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you paused just to appreciate what you already have? Not the things you're chasing, not the goals you're still working on, but the small, ordinary things. Your morning coffee, the laughter of someone you love, the fact that you woke up again today. Too often, we miss it. We're wired to focus on what's next, what's missing, what's wrong, but rarely, so rarely do we stop and say, this is enough. Right now, this moment is a gift. And that's what today's Stoic practice is all about. Gratitude. 1. Why gratitude is more than just a feel-good habit. Gratitude isn't just a spiritual buzzword or something you save for Thanksgiving dinner. It's a mindset, a muscle, a way of seeing the world that changes the world, or at least how you experience it. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, wrote in his private journal, during war, during plague, during political betrayal, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess." In other words, stop chasing what's out there. Appreciate what's already right here. Because here's the paradox. Gratitude doesn't come from having more. It comes from noticing more. 2. How gratitude rewires your mind. Here's what modern science has confirmed, what the Stoics already lived. Gratitude reduces stress. It boosts happiness and optimism. It strengthens relationships. And it rewires your brain to scan for what's going right instead of what's going wrong. Let that sink in. Your brain can literally be trained to find the good, even in hard seasons, even when things aren't perfect, even when life feels heavy, and all it takes is the practice of pausing and paying attention. 3. Start small. The 3 blessings method. So how do you actually do this? It's simple, but don't let that fool you. Simple isn't the same as shallow. Here's one powerful method. Each day, Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Big or small, obvious or hidden. A roof over your head. A warm conversation. A lesson learned through pain. The breath you're taking right now. Don't just list them, feel them. Let each one remind you, I have what I need. I've made it through. There is still good in the world. And if you do this daily, your perspective will start to shift, quietly, powerfully, permanently. 4. Gratitude in hard times, the true test. Now, let's get real for a second. It's easy to be grateful when life is smooth. But what about when things fall apart? What about the breakups, the job losses, the health scares? What about grief, loneliness, uncertainty? That's when gratitude becomes courage. It's not about pretending everything's okay. It's about finding one thing to hold on to in the storm. It is you. A friend who checked in, a moment of silence. The lesson hidden in the struggle. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Even when the present is messy, even then, there is something worth appreciating. And when you find it, you find your strength. 5. Personal reflection. The day I realized this changed me. There was a time in my life where everything felt like it was slipping through my hands. I was exhausted, burned out, anxious, grasping for control. And one night, I sat down and forced myself to list just 3 things I was grateful for. It felt forced, pointless. But I did it again the next night and the next, and somewhere along the way, something changed. Not my circumstances, but me. I stopped rushing through my life. I started seeing it, savoring it, respecting it. Gratitude became my anchor, my compass, my quiet rebellion against a world that always tells you it's never enough. 6. Your turn. Build a gratitude habit that lasts. You don't need hours. You don't need perfection. You just need 2 to 3 minutes a day. Start tonight. Before bed, pause and ask, what went right today? What did I overlook that deserves appreciation? What small thing made a big difference? And write it down. Not for social media. Not for anyone else. Just for you. Because the more you train your mind to see what's good, the stronger you become when things go bad. And over time, you'll begin to realize peace isn't found in what you have. It's found in how deeply you appreciate what you already hold. So here we are. 5 practices. 5 simple, powerful habits rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom. And if you've made it this far, one thing is clear. You're not just looking for information. You're seeking transformation. Because in a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, your reaction, what you truly crave isn't more noise. It's peace. It's clarity. It's that quiet confidence that no matter what life throws at you, you've got this. Let's recap the path we've walked together. Practice 1. Morning reflection. Start your day with intention, not distraction. Before the world gets loud, listen to yourself. Anchor your goals, your mindset, your values. Practice 2. Journaling. Release what you're carrying. Process your thoughts, your triggers, your patterns. Turn your mind into a space of clarity, not chaos. Practice 3. Mindfulness meditation. Be here, fully. Not in the past, not in the future, but in this breath, this moment, where life actually happens. Practice 4. Negative visualization. Face the fears you usually avoid. Don't run from life's challenges. Rehearse for them. So when they come, you're not broken. You're ready. Practice 5. Gratitude. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you feel joy. See the blessings already around you. Train your mind to find the good, even in difficulty. This is more than a morning routine. This is a mindset shift. These practices aren't flashy. They won't go viral. They're not built for dopamine. They're built for discipline, for resilience, for inner peace that can't be shaken by headlines, conflict, or uncertainty. And that's what Stoicism has always been about. It's not about becoming cold. It's about becoming calm. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about channeling emotion into strength. It's not about escaping the world. It's about moving through it with courage, clarity, and compassion. What happens when you practice this consistently? You stop chasing peace and start creating it. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop feeling powerless and start leading yourself. This journey is not about perfection. You'll stumble, you'll forget, but every time you come back to these practices, even for just a few minutes, you get stronger. More grounded, more present, more you. Personal reflection. Why this matters so much right now. We're living in a time where burnout is normal, anxiety is expected, and chaos is constant. But what if, just what if, you became the one person in the room who wasn't panicking? What if you were the one who could hold stillness, speak from purpose, and walk through the storm without losing yourself? That's not some fantasy. That's Stoic mindfulness in action. It's not about being unshakable by nature. It's about becoming unshakable by practice. Your next step starts now. So the question is, will you leave these ideas as just inspiration? Or will you live them? One breath, one choice, one day at a time. Here's my invitation to you. Start tomorrow with a reflection. Journal your thoughts, even if they're messy. Take 5 quiet minutes to breathe. Visualize the challenge and visualize yourself rising through it. And end your day with gratitude, not for a perfect life, but for a resilient heart. That's the Stoic way. That's your way now, if you choose it. If this video spoke to something deep within you, don't keep that feeling to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and join this growing community of thinkers, seekers, and doers. Every week, we bring you grounded Stoic wisdom for a chaotic modern world. Practical tools for real transformation. Because peace isn't something you find by chance. It's something you build daily, through discipline, through awareness, through choice. So let's keep walking this path together. And remember, you already have everything you need to be calm, clear, and powerful. Right now, right where you are. You just have to practice it.